Days of Our Lives. Paul Telfer teases his character's shocking next love. Xander would relish the mess. Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Xander's been stuck in a bit of a rut for some time now on Days of Our Lives. He's bounced back and forth between Gwen and Sarah, never quite making either relationship work for more than a few months. Now Sarah's gone and Gwen's fed up, and about the only person left in Xander's corner in any capacity is Maggie. Or at least, that's what it seemed until just last week. After Chloe had her confrontation with Kristen and confrontation with Leo, she ended up literally crying on Xander's shoulder after running into him in town. Granted, the awkward look on Xander's face as Chloe cried on him was priceless. But we can't be the only ones who sensed a connection forming between the two. Chloe's going to have to deal with the fallout from Leo's column, and there's a decent chance that'll make her almost as much of a pariah as Xander. Brady's certain to have a tough time dealing with the fact that the woman he loves called his daughter a monster. Nicole will likely be sympathetic to her friend, but she's a bit preoccupied plotting with EJ. Chloe and Xander could both use friends. She's had a rough go with Stefan and Brady, Xander with Gwen and Sarah. There's a lot more that they could bond over than they may have once thought. And once two characters start bonding, it's almost always a straight line to romance. This is something that's crossed Paul Telfer's mind a time or two. When Soaps.com spoke with the actor a short time back, he was all for Xander and Chloe fling. Their run-ins in the past have been fairly limited and mostly unpleasant. But for Xander, Telfer pointed out, that's not a big problem. The past is the past. His is a bit more colorful than most and he's happy enough to put it behind him. Or at least, try to. That never quite seems to work out for him. Still, Telfer suggested his character would be all for hooking up with Chloe. I think Xander would relish the mess of it all. He'd come in and mess with Brady, just to rub it in his face that he's no better than Xander, and he could get Chloe too. I think that would be fun. Right now, of course, Xander's pretty ticked off at, well, everyone. As he and Gwen declared when they teamed up to take the Spectator, they were through playing nice with the citizens of Salem. So while Xander and Chloe may be getting thrown together in joint misery, that doesn't mean he wouldn't enjoy sticking it to Brady. Especially if his cousin starts trying to get holier than thou when the proverbial you-know-what hits the fan over Leo's gossip column. Still, whether or not the two end up building a real relationship or not is up in the air. As Telfer put it, in terms of a real love connection, I've got enough on my plate with the triangle that I have. Because you can be sure that the triangle is far from over. Sarah may be off in Chicago and Gwen may be hooking up with Alex, fed up with her one-time fiancé, but there's virtually no chance that either of them are done with him. For one thing, Gwen and Xander just won't be able to get out of each other's orbit unless one of them gives up the Spectator. Then too, there's the possibility that he could try to do with Chloe what Leo suggested Gwen do with Alex and make his ex jealous. And as for Sarah, baby, anyone? They're going to come back at some point. In the meantime though, so may just be what the doctor ordered to help Xander and Chloe make it through a particularly bumpy patch. Someone grab the popcorn, because mess may not even begin to describe these two together. Days of Our Lives just laid out its plan to introduce a new Victor Kiriakis. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Things haven't been quite the same since John Aniston passed away. Technically, Victor is still alive on Days of Our Lives until the show's filming schedule catches up to real life. But if anything, it's just bittersweet knowing we'll have to say goodbye to him soon enough. There's never really been anyone as ruthless and iron-fisted as him to take his place. Because now Beau's on the run with Kayla in Greece, talking about his slate being wiped clean, going on about some sort of destined path, and starting over from the same place his father did. And once Kayla realizes that Beau didn't just rescue her, but wants his sis to finish Megan's youth serum to, as she puts it, build an empire on a flower, everything clicks into place. It's about money and power. That doesn't seem very Bo-like, but it is very much Victor-like. Peter Reckell breaks down Bo's changes in the most recent issue of Soap Opera Digest. He knows Megan had been drugging him and messing with his mind. But now that he's away, he's hoping to become his own man again. The problem is, the man he's interested in isn't the one he was before. He took Kayla to Greece with him as he's pushing away the Brady side of him and trying to figure out the Kiriakis side of himself. The Kiriakis genes. It's all about discovery. Greece is where Bo's father grew up and maybe he can be like his father. Well, that tears it. Kayla, of course, isn't on board with this plan. She's a Brady. And up until his resurrection, Bo was too. Kiriakis genes or not. But he's going to keep pushing her to help make a name for himself and become like his father, rich and powerful. That's how Bo's going to get there, and Kayla is going to help him accomplish that. She's like Bo's Rolf. Well, if that's the case, it sounds like Bo's trying to take over for both Victor and Stefan. The question though is just how far will he go? Is Bo just being a bit unscrupulous in trying to create a legitimate empire? Or is he now capable of going full Victor, crime kingpin, and all? He certainly seems like it. Bo couldn't care less about shooting and allegedly killing Kate, and he's pretty much threatening his own sister to help him or else. He's made it clear that she's not escaping. Still, there's some Brady in there, as Reckell insists to Digest. Bo is a bit violent, but Kayla knows he's not going to hurt her. But just because he still cares about family doesn't mean he cares about a whole lot else. Even if this serum plan falls apart, and let's be honest, how can it not? That doesn't mean Bo's going back to his Brady roots. Because sooner or later, we're going to lose Victor. And if Bo doesn't snap back to his old self, he may be just the man to take his father's place, ruthless corporate raider, crime lord and all.